Welcome back to Irishing Whiskey here at the Whiskey Summit. I know absolutely nothing about what we're about to drink other than Eric brought it and actually helped pick it.
Yeah.
Take it away, Eric.
So this is Oak and Eden. I believe this actual product is MGP. Because it said, it's bottled by and it's distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So that is MGP. So they basically Oak and Eden's. I hate using the word gimmick, but their shtick is instead of hyper aging, like rotating the barrels or inserting a whole bunch of staves into things, they actually put a charred spire into the product. So if you look close, you'll see one little spire that they put inside the bottle. They have multiple different types of mash bills. This is a wheated bourbon, and this was picked for and by Southwest Florida Bourbon Society down in Fort Myers. This is our inspired pick for AAA liquor. So it's a wheated bourbon, and the spire is actually a French oak spiral, 116 proof.
All right.
Right at 4 years old.
All right.
But so myself and Sean Farrell of Southwest Florida Bourbon Society picked this independently of each other. We both went, tried all the samples. We weren't around each other, and I found out and said, all right, that's the one I want. And Sean said the same thing. We called each other and was like, all right, which one did you like? Well, we like the wheated bourbon. Well, I did too. Well, bam, here we go. And it turned out very nice. We quite enjoyed it. Now, just noting from the spire on this thing is dark as sin.
Mm-hmm.
And a maple syrup bomb.
It's I can tell that it's wheated. I get that grape note. And I can tell that there's a hunk of wood floating in it.
Super syrupy, grapey.
And I can tell that it's MGP.
Burnt marshmallows. I'm gonna try it.
Let's do it.
So, very oaky. Has that kind of sawdust, plywood type smell to it, like walking into a Home Depot. But it's not the main point of it. That's the very beginning. The back end of it has a good, unique spice, real sugary. Doesn't necessarily taste 116 proof.
No. It's
interesting.
It's sweet. It's oaky. It's spicy. It is very woody.
Yep.
But on the back of the palate, there's almost a. It's oak for sure, but it fades in and out with almost like a gingerbread flavor.
It's a good spice,
and it's really unique. I get a faint on the back of the palate acetone note, which is common with wheated bourbons.
Yep.
It does not taste like it smells.
Right.
If it tasted like it smelled, I do not think I would have enjoyed it. But this is actually pretty good.
$52.99 is what this cost. Which, if you want to go into the market value of what that is, Maker's Cask strength is about the same price, and about the same age, and same proof.
Horse Soldier cask strength is more than that. Tastes very similar to that in terms of some of the back end notes that I get, but this does have the benefit of having that hunk of oak in it.
I would like to try this up against a Maker's 46 cask strength.
Careful what you wish for.
Go grab it.
Ooh, it's a twofer! After a brief intermission, we are back with the second part of this episode, which is a taste-off between the Oak and Eden Southwest Florida pick versus Maker's Mark cask strength, which they say is a limited edition.
46.
46. Maker's 46 cask strength.
Now, what puts the similarities between the two?
These are both wheated bourbons to begin with. Maker's Mark famously uses a very similar recipe to another famous wheated bourbon that rhymes with Stan Pinkle. So in that respect, they're the same. The other thing that kind of puts them together, I think Maker's is a bit older. Officially, the Samuels say that Maker's is aged as long as it takes to taste like Maker's. Functionally, that's about 6 years, I think. So a smidge older. What makes Maker's 46 Maker's 46 is they take their matured bourbon and chunk in an oak stave. It's a piece of oak. The 46 is I think a toasted stave. It's nothing. It's the Maker's 46 stave. If a group does a Maker's pick, which is a stave combination, then 46 is one of the staves that they can choose. So this is bottled at cask strength. This particular offering is 110.3 proof. So age, they're pretty close. Functionality, they're also pretty close.
Proof is similar.
I'm going to give my Oak and Eden another swirl.
The 46 is more cakey.
It is pretty
cakey.
Good. I don't know what it is about NGP, but like every one of them leads in with that saccharine sweetness on the front end.
Something about Indiana.
'46 actually has more oak on the nose than the one that actually has the piece of wood floating in it.
Right.
Which is strange. Thicker, sugar sweet versus saccharine sweet. Think of, well, this is for you Southerners out there. Think of grandma's sweet tea versus sweet tea you get at a restaurant that you got to mix sweet and low in. It's a texture difference.
That 40, I like the 46. I think they're.
Is this the first time you've had the 46 cask strength?
Yeah. I think comparing the two, if you are a more oakier fan, the Oak and Eden would be your jam. If you want something with a little more oak, but not an oak bomb, you can go for the 46. But if you like a little more oak, like the Oak and Eden is not over oaked, but compared to the 46, it is definitely oakier, which it should be. It has some burnt wood in it.
It's a
Aspire.
I love the Maker's 46, and I'll be honest, I like the Maker's 46 better than the Oak and Eden. But if you're looking for a smoother, more approachable, smoother is not the right, softer taste profile with a fair bit of oak, that Oak and Eden is perfect. It's good.
Yeah,
you did good. But yeah, it is crazy kind of how similar they are too.
Yeah. So $52.99 for that one. Maker's 46. 60-ish, which that's kind of that's on par. I just think that they're two different whiskeys. They're two completely different profiles. But
they're good. Both of them are good.
Yeah, they're good.
That's a hell of a pick. And a really neat concept. I would be interested in.
They have a 4-grain that is delicious.
Ooh. Corn, rye, wheat, barley.
Yep.
Nice. I would be interested in maybe sampling some more Oak and Eden offerings, so be on the lookout for that. We'll see how that goes. But this was a good one. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Like, share, subscribe, follow. All the social media information is coming after the video. Also, check out our podcast floating around there on the internet. We had fun with this little 2-part episode, a little impromptu Makers 46 tasting thrown in there as well. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time,
Cheers.